Hi, I'm Dave Wurzel, and you're watching PGH TV4, and you?
I'm Adam Nelson.
All right, Adam, thank you. Adam and I are going to cover the Classic Car Show in Palos Heights this year. Adam, thank you for coming. I got to ask, before we start making the rounds, are you a car person?
You know, Dave, I'm not a huge car person, but I can respect a beautiful car. And from what I see, there's a lot of beautiful cars here.
Yeah, even just a little bit we've seen already. Amazing cars.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go make the rounds, meet some car owners?
Let's make these rounds.
All right, let's make the rounds. Ray, you have got a beautiful car behind me. How about first, Ray Jackson, right? Where are you from?
Alsip.
Alsip?
27th and Mason, right on the corner.
Okay. How about tell us what car do you have here?
It's a 1935 Chrysler Airflow, C1 four-door. They only made this car for about 4 years, 34 to 37. They were way before their time. They didn't sell real well, but they were groundbreaking.
I want to ask you why it was groundbreaking. It's a beautiful car, I'm going to ask 1934. So obviously it hasn't looked like this for the last 90 years. How did it get 90 years old now, right? How did you get it? Did you restore it, or did you get it like this?
I did it all myself. I painted it. I rebuilt the engine. I worked with a guy on the railroad who needed a transmission for his 60 Chrysler, and I said, I have 2 of them. I said, what do you give me for it? He said, I got this old car in my garage that my mother said if it's not out of here by Monday, it's going to the junkyard. So I traded the car for the transmission, and kind of a long, funny story was she wouldn't give me any more time to work on it. So I ended up driving it down Indianapolis Boulevard 8 miles with no brakes.
Oh, no.
To my grandmother's house where she'd let me store it.
Okay.
And then when I built a new house in Alsip, it looked like a junk, and I didn't think the neighbors would like it, so I bricked it into my house. And it was bricked into the house for 8 years where I couldn't get it out. And about the early 90s, I got it out, and I started to work on it, and it took me about 3 years.
Okay. And you got brakes now.
Now it stops.
Okay, I'm going to say that's an incredible story. So this car was like this close to being in the junk heap, and we wouldn't get to see it here.
Right. She told me. I said, look, I got it running, but the brakes don't work. Yeah. I said, I need a few more days. She said, if it's not gone by tomorrow, it's going to the junkyard. So I called my grandmother, and she said, yeah, bring it over. So I drove her with no brakes. The things you do when you're 18 years old. Not so.
But I'll tell you, Ray, you did a great job in the car. I'm going to say thank you on behalf, because otherwise this beauty wouldn't be on the road. So thank you very much. Have fun tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm here with Tom and Carol. Tom, can you tell us what car we have next to us?
1956 Bentley S1 Salon.
Very nice, very nice. Tom, have you done any work to it or anything like that?
Completely rebuilt it. It's been stripped down to bare metal, repainted, body work, things like that. Yes, it's been restored.
All right, Carol, I'm going to go to you here, all right? Plan for the future. What's the plan with this car? Like, is it staying in the family? You guys going to sell it? What's the plan with it?
Hopefully it'll stay in the family, because we got it from my cousin who got it from his father, who restored it in Palos Park. It was owned by Jerry Zimmerman, and used to be around for years, and that he passed away. His son didn't want it, and so he gave it to us.
So it has a lot of
give it to us. We paid for it.
Has a lot of history. It's something you want to keep around. All right, last question. I'll go to both of you. Do you have any cool story or experience with the car? Tom, we'll start with you.
We got a cool story of when we first bought the car. I was putting a lot of money into it, and I was saying to myself, you know, you could buy anything you want. However, can you afford to buy it, or can you afford to keep it? But my wife found a little something. Hopefully, you'll see it. A jar of Grey Poupon, and yeah, there's a commercial. There's a commercial about 2 Bentleys pulled up, or 2 Rolls Royces pulled up to each other, and one driver says to the other, "Do you have any Grey Poupon?" Well, anyway, Carol found a large jar, and it's in the car. I was saying, can we afford to keep this car and things like that? And then people come by and they see that Grey Poupon, and you get the belly laugh. I says, that's priceless. We're keeping the car.
Yeah. That's a good story. I'll let you guys get back to it. Thank you so much. Have fun at the car show.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by.
John, you have got a beautiful car here. I'm going to ask you to talk about first, but can you introduce yourself? Your name is John, and where are you from?
John Schiavone from Beecher, Illinois.
Okay, so you made a little bit of a trip here. How about, so tell us, what car do you have, or what model you're the?
This is my 69 Camaro. It's a Pro Street car. Had a lot of good stuff done to it. I've done it for the last 5 years now. I've owned it for 6 years, but we've been working on her, getting it better and better every year.
So it's a beautiful car, and you've been working on it for the last 5 years. You had it for 6, I think you said. Can you tell us a little bit about it, the engine, the work you've done?
Yeah, I just put a new motor in it recently in September. It's a 615 cubic inch motor, got 975 horse. Gets a dart block, AFR head, 15.1 compression, a lot of good stuff in it.
So it's fun to drive?
Oh, it's a great time to drive.
It is
like I said, it's fun to look at, but it's way more fun to drive it.
That's a great way to describe it, because if it's half as good to drive as it is to look at, it's a wonderful car.
Yes, sir.
Well, hey, John, thank you very much. Have fun tonight. All right.
Got it, man. Thank you for stopping by and taking the time to spend with us.
Well, you got to. Beautiful car like this, absolutely.
Thank you.
Take care.
I'm here with Nancy and Bill. Now, Nancy, tell me what car we have here.
It's a 1929 AA hand crank dump truck, a Ford, that was found in an apple orchard in Door County, Wisconsin by Bill's father. And he got his mother to agree, because he said Bill would go in on half with me so he could get it, but it had to be restored.
It's very nice. It's very nice. And Bill, have you done any work to it since you've gotten it?
Well, we bought it in 1993, and it took us 1 year. We restored it, and it's been running like this for the last 29 years.
You're a good mechanic. I might need to call you in for some of my cars. You know, Bill's a good mechanic. All right, now I'm asking you guys both. Now, can you tell me a cool story about the car, or like something cool about it, cool story, cool experience? Nancy, you first.
Well, we've taken it in many parades. We were recently in the LaGrange Pet Parade, and put the grandkids, and our kids used to ride on the top.
Yeah. So it's a lot of fun, family, yeah. Bill, your turn. Tell me a story.
Restoring it with my dad and our son, 3 generations, restored it in 1993. And we found out it's got the original engine, so we had it rebuilt, and so it's back in here and hopefully going to run for another 30 years.
I hope so as well. As a family bonding experience. Thank you guys so much. Have fun at the car show.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, we've got Bob here. Bob, this is your event, Classic Car Committee. First of all, and I know we've got your car behind you, so let's do that first. And then I want to talk to you about the Classic Car event and the committee, okay? What car do you have here?
A 33 Buick made for Marshall Field delivery. Buick would have never made a sedan delivery. The man I got it from made it like this because his wife loved Marshall Fields, and Marshall Fields would never buy a Buick back then because they were too expensive.
Wow, too expensive for Marshall Fields.
Right.
I'll tell you, it's a beautiful car. Thank you for bringing it tonight. But how many years have you been working the classic car, or many years have you been putting it together?
21 shows.
Wow, that is amazing.
It's 20 years, 21 shows.
That's incredible. And I have to ask, because the crowd here to me seems bigger than I remember. The last couple of years it's been huge. This feels bigger. How many cars are here, do you know?
I would guesstimate, because they go all the way from 120th to 126th. Any parking lot they can find, I would say 750 to 800.
Wow, that's incredible. What a crowd. You've been doing it for a long time now. What do you like about the event?
It's a good thing for the city. Basically, it promotes the city. And that's what it was. This is a beautification committee. They started. Jeff Prestonero was just walking by. He was the alderman back then. He's actually walking by right now. And he started it, and the beautification committee was formed. I was in my driveway with an antique car, a 67 Buick, and they asked if I knew anything about car shows. I said, I go to them. Well, you know more than we do. Will you help? And I started.
a 20-year thing was started. You know, well, I'm going to tell you thank you. It is, and when you think about the work that the Beautification Committee does at Palos Heights, this is an absolute great event that you guys have put together. So thank you. I know you're partially working. I know you're enjoying it. But Bob, thank you for doing the event. Have fun tonight. All right?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm here with Carl and Stacy. Carl, what do we have next to us? What car is this?
This is a 1906 replica of the Batmobile from the TV series that was on television back then.
It's very beautiful. I feel like a kid again. You know, I'm a big fan of Batman, and it's bringing me back. Stacy.
A lot of memories to a lot of people when they see it at the show. Yeah. We get a lot of people that are very interested in this car.
Yeah. Same with me. Stacy, what do you guys do with this car? Tell me a little about it.
So we are from the Claremont Collections Automotive Museum. We're located at 3117 North Knox in the city of Chicago, and we take this car to car shows and parades.
Very nice. Thank you guys so much. I'll let you get back to it. Have fun at the car show.
Bob, this is an incredibly cool looking car. First of all, introduce yourself. Bob, where are you from?
I'm from Orland Park. Name is Bob Coletti, and it's a 55 Chevy.
As I say, I know you've collected cars. You told me you had other cars.
I had 7.
You had 7, okay. And I think you said you sold those. You kept this one still.
Yeah, and I'm doing a short bed now, an 87 square body.
So I have to ask, a beautiful car, 1955 Chevy here, and I know you got it for sale. What do you like about this car? Like, why is it? And first of all, did you do the restoration work on it?
I bought the car about maybe 85% done. I did the rest. The dash, the stereo, steering wheel, shocks on the car. But
well, I say you got it into a beautiful shape. I like the little Chucky doll in there. No, that's really cool. And you mentioned like this is a great car. What is it like to drive, or how does it compare? Like, what do you like about this car?
It runs better than my new cars.
Better than a new car. Now that's whet my appetite. I wish I could drive a car. Bob, thank you very much. Have fun tonight. Okay? Thank you.
I'm here with Emmett. Emmett, what car are we in right now?
We are in a Fiat 500 Abarth.
Nice, nice, nice. Now, Emmett, have you done any work to this car?
Yes, so it's actually a fully built engine from the crank up. So everything is done to it. It makes about a little over double the horsepower than stock.
Nice, nice. How did you get this car? Tell me that story. I want to hear that story.
So actually, in about 10 years ago, there was a racetrack in Italy, in Imola, Italy. And we bought it from the racing team in Italy. They used it as a pit car.
Yeah. Very nice. Now, can you tell me a cool story about this car?
Man, I mean, it really just coming out to these events like this, just seeing all the people and the smiles it puts on people's faces as they're, you know, as you're driving by and the kids in the back seats of the cars. Everybody waves at you.
Yeah,
it's just a great experience. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much. Have fun at the car show.
Of course, man.
I'm here with Ken, but now this is a different type of interview. Ken is going to tell us about this green car and this red car. Now, Ken, what do we have next to us? What are these two cars?
So this one right here is a 1964 Buick Riviera, and it's a custom. So kind of the more you walk around and look at things, it's pretty apparent that there's a lot of extra stuff done to this car to make it mine. Yeah. And I had this vision before we even started this car. Okay. So I actually painted my dad's Riviera, and I wasn't even familiar with Rivieras. You don't see a lot of them. And I tried to convince him that we need to lower it, paint it green, do all the things that really we did to this car here. So found this car in Nebraska, and it was pretty rough. Although not at first sight, once you start taking things apart, you realize how rough certain areas are. And that just kind of led to, going all out on it, to where we actually took the car off the frame, off the chassis, completely stripped this thing down, no wiring, nothing. Everything was stripped down, and really allowed us to kind of carry out this vision, which was to make a kind of a little bit of a lowrider custom that certainly I could drive on the street and go to shows with and go to awesome shows like this one here in Palos. So.
And you've done beautiful work. I like it a lot. Now, we've heard about the green one, right? Let's talk about this one over here.
So that is a 1956 Buick Special, and my dad found that car at an estate sale, and he was actually looking for a 57 Buick, but came across that car really early days of the internet, before Google. And found that car and paid very little money for it. It only had 26,000 miles on it. And the one owner and that owner took just incredible, meticulous care of making sure that car did not see any salt or really ever get any rust on it. So started out with a really solid car there. So yeah, so I painted both of these cars in my garage. I was the paint rep for House of Color, which anybody out there is into cars, if you know custom paint, that's an automotive paint line like DuPont or PPG, and I had access to all the latest and greatest when I was with House of Color. So, anyways, like I said, painted them in my garage, and that paint job is 28 years old now, and still holding up quite well.
Still looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this one's about 11 years old now. So. Yeah.
They're beautiful cars, and it sounds like a father and son activity.
Totally, yeah. My dad and I built 100% of this, and along with that red car as well, the 56 Special. So, yeah, we work good together. I'm the painter, and he's good at everything. So, yeah, both of us make a really good team. Yeah.
Thank you so much. They're both beautiful. Have fun at the car show.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I'm here with Rich. Rich, what car is this?
34 Ford. It's a SoCal car. It was built in California, and it's famous for being a ZZ Top car.
A ZZ Top. Now I know it is. Rich, he had to show me what a ZZ Top is, and now I get it. If you don't know, search it up. Yeah. Rich,
go ahead.
What have you done any work to this car?
This emblem right here.
Yeah.
That's Goddess of Speed. Okay. This emblem. Very famous emblem. It's off a Cadillac.
Do you go fast in this car?
I do, but I try to avoid tickets.
Yeah. Can you give me an estimate of how fast?
I probably, if I'm doing on Route 80, I'm probably doing 80.
Route 80. You match like the street name. Exactly. Like 131st, you'll go 131 miles per hour.
I can't do that one.
Rich, Can you tell me a cool story about this car?
So when I first bought this car,
yeah,
bought it in California,
okay,
brought it back to Arizona, and we were doing a lot of car shows and stuff like that, and we would go to this one car show, and this guy came up to me, and he goes, "This describes your car the best. The Desert Rat." It's got gum stuck on his shoe. So,
yeah.
But it's a very, very original car. A lot of stuff's been done to it, and I love the car, drive it, and come to these car shows. Yeah. And I'd let you drive it, Adam, but I just don't trust you.
You just don't trust me enough. Maybe we'll get there, Rich. Maybe we'll get there. Well, Rich, thank you so much. Have fun at the car show. Let's go.
All right, we were able to snag the mayor, Bob Strasser, just a minute. Mayor of Palos Heights here. Mayor, thank you very much for taking a minute. It's good to see you. You're out, it looks like you're enjoying yourself.
I am. This is a great festivities we have out here, and I don't even remember what year this is, but it's been going on for quite a while. And as I was telling you earlier, we started this a number of years ago, and initially we got some pushback from some of the merchants, thinking we were disrupting their businesses. But what's really happened is over the years, all the merchants have bought into it. They use it as a marketing tool, and that's really why we started this, was to get people down Harlem Avenue see what we have. We have some of the finest restaurants, you know, in the southwest suburbs. We've got some great service businesses and businesses that give service, which is the main thing. It's, you know, privately owned, not mega stores. And it's what we want people to see, you know.
I have talked to merchants. They've said for some of them, this day is bigger than Christmas.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. That's what we want. I mean, look at all the people here. I'm guessing, I think we probably have 400 to 500 cars out here and probably 4,000 people.
I'm going to verify this, but I'm going to check. I think Bob earlier told me they were like over 800.
Okay, and I'd have to go with him. He's the, you know, he runs this thing, and I have to give a lot of credit to Bob Starzyk. I mean, he's taken this thing and run it from so many years, and I know every year he's going to quit, and but he sticks in there, and he's a real car guy. I mean, I'm not a you know
no, I know he's
but I come out here and enjoy myself and get to meet people, and that's what it's really about. Quite frankly, we have a number of people who are not from Palos Heights, and they would never see what we have on Harlem Avenue, the number of businesses. And again, that's what we did it for.
Well, it's a great event for the community. I'm with you 100%. And I'm not a car person, but it's not. I mean, I don't know how you cannot look at some of these cars and be impressed or dazzled by them.
You don't need to know what kind of engine it has, but the paint job looks nice. And as I said, we've got some unique cars. There's over on the other side, there's a little pickup truck that's kind of cool. There's a Batmobile, some little minivans, things that are tricked up. And we've got some, and Bob has been fortunate enough to get us some really classic cars in his little area over here, and they come from everywhere to be.
So you hit it perfectly, the variety of cars they have. I have to ask, I can see you got a plaque in your hand. What is the plaque?
Every year I give a Mayor's Award, and it has nothing to do with any kind of what the car does or anything, just a car that I like. So I picked out a little, it's actually, it looks like a little mini Cub pickup truck that's got a Cobra engine in it, and it's got a nice paint job. So that's who's going to get it today. And I don't even know who they are, but last year I gave it to some lady from Blue Island, and she was ecstatic. So
I'm going to guess of all the mayor's jobs, this has got to be in the top 5 for fun, right?
It is for fun, yes, definitely. I mean, you get to meet a lot of people, a lot of residents who don't see each other a lot of times. I mean, you know, we sit in our houses, and we're fortunate we've got bigger lots. In many cases, you see your neighbors once a week, maybe, and you wave at them. You know.
Well, you will bump into them here.
Up here, right.
I'm going to let you enjoy the rest of the car show and present that plaque. Thank you, Mayor. Have fun tonight.
Appreciate it.
Wrapping up the Classic Car Show, Palos Heights 2024. Adam, this has been quite an event. Obviously, it's crazy crowded still. We've been here for a couple hours. I mean, how about your impressions? I mean, what did you think of the event and some of the cars you saw?
I thought it was awesome. I thought it's a huge community, Dave. There's a lot of people, a lot of cool things to look at. And I had a lot of fun, a lot of nice people. I would suggest for sure coming next year.
It is interesting how friendly the event is, like how, you know, people want to talk about the cars. Yeah. Everybody's having a great time. I would agree with you. Even if you're not into cars, it's still a fun night, and they got all the restaurants, the food vendors, and everybody. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Yeah. I'm going to put you on the spot. You don't really have to answer. We saw a lot of cars tonight.
A lot of cars.
Any favorites in that mix?
I got to say, the tiny car I was in. I got an amazing interview. The kid was awesome. That was my favorite car.
That was a beautiful car. Maybe because I grew up with it, I had a little bit of partiality to the Batman car. That was cool. The Marshall Fields car was a class. I don't know. I love that 55 Chevy. They're all cool. All right. All cool cars.
Yeah.
Adam, thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you for watching PHTV4 Classic Car Event 2024.